Hi. Okay. So now we're going to talk about the combination of PR with social media, which pretty much like the only question I ever get from a lot of people is, can I pitch via social? And it's like, yeah, do it. I don't know. Sorry. I'm a little irritated. Okay. So let's talk about it. So like, if you want to do some PR, a lot of people, even if they're millennials, they work with their email. And so if you have a hard time tracking down their email or connecting with them, like you've been sending them emails and they're ignoring you, well, maybe you need to work on your pitch. But no, let's just say yes. Let's say you're really into social and like the only way that you're going to do PR is if you can do it through social media because you're just like really into it. That's fine. Be into it and like try to do it through social. It's not a big deal. I don't know why people really make a bigger deal about this than it needs to be. It's like, if you want to pitch through social media, just do it, I guess. They might ask you to email them. I know I said that before. So you've got to think about who you're pitching and if they're even on social, number one. So obviously, if they are the more younger people, they're going to be on social. So like I do a lot of B2B, a lot of like, I mean, literally like concretemagazine.com. Like, I don't know. They're not on social as much. So like we're doing emails. It is what it is. It's easier because when we're at work, we're using email. We use it and we kind of like organize with email, like creating folders and things. And so like a lot of our pitches when they're dealing with like ed cals and things, it's like really specific, like for your December ed cal. And then they can like file it away for when they're working in December, like that kind of thing. Like I don't know how well you can do that with your social, right? But if you want to, like, let's say you really are like inspired by social, then yeah, pitch through social. But there isn't like any cool way to do it. You'd really like maybe just well, the cool way to do it, okay, here's the thing. You might be making more work for yourself, which in the end is very good because I like a lot of extra work. Sounds so weird because you want to do research, right? So using social is more about possibly for research, and you use social to like figure out what's going on in the news and what are the trends, number one, so that you can get more instinctual with your PR work. And if you need to do that through social, then that's fine. Now, the other thing you can do through social with research is research your reporters, which is great. And then if you start researching them, then you want to start engaging with them online. So I think that this is really good for someone who's like in-house and has like one specific niche. Of course, I can talk about some tools to like organize. Let's say you have 5 clients. You can use a media tool, like a social media tool like Buffer, and you can segment by columns. So segment all your topics by columns. And I've tried to do this before. It's just like, I'm not, I can't, but you can try. And you just look at each of, like, let's say you've got pharmaceuticals, then you've got makeup, then you've got whatever. And you're tracking by those. And that's how you can kind of like organize yourself. Otherwise, there's just too much out there. And I feel like you might be way too unorganized with it. And I'm really talking about Twitter. So we want to think about who's on Twitter if you really want to pitch through Twitter. I don't know. I should really look at the stats, but I feel like a lot of sports reporters are on Twitter, a lot of guys, and politics. I don't know. That's what I think. Now, a lot of people are going over into Instagram. That's more of kind of like those influencers that have pretty things to show, possibly, rather than big opinions. The big opinions might go over to Twitter. So anyway, you really just want to use social for your research and connecting with reporters. And then if you can connect with them on social just to kind of just to kind of see what they're doing, you just have to think about what is the medium and is it right to do on that medium. And it's definitely right to do on LinkedIn if you've already had kind of an email dialogue with them. So connect with them on LinkedIn. And then Facebook, if they're just like an influencer and you're just following them, that's fine. Might as well do that. But if you're trying to connect like friend wise with them, you might want to make sure you're more on a more intimate level first. I mean, you don't have to have met before, but I'm talking about like maybe you've worked with them a little bit and you know, for instance, that maybe you're like the same age or you have the same interests like that. And then you could maybe connect with them there. And then you can get to know them a little bit better there and it can help your pitches. And then Instagram's kind of the same thing, but for me, I feel like it's a little less personal because it's a lot of people are kind of doing business stuff there now and like posting their thoughts and they want followers there. And Twitter, you can follow anyone. So that's a great place to just follow people if you want to kind of see what they're up to. But you'll see a lot of people a lot of people are super active or they're not active at all. So you'll have to see kind of what's out there before you get a bunch of ideas about what work you're going to be doing on social. And then Pinterest is cool for pictures. Well, yeah, no, Pinterest is really good from like creative type campaigns where, you know, like materials or inspiration, so recipes, that kind of thing that people use to organize themselves. So if you have more of like a visual type client, that could be really good to pay attention to. I don't know how you'd really connect with a reporter there, but anyway, that's your job. You figure that out and let me know. And then also let me know what you think about TikTok, because that is a little bit newer since when I wrote this book for sure. I don't have it in here. So I haven't really thought about that as much, but I should because my kids are on it and I need to spy on them there. So tell me how to do it. Okay, thanks.